Hello and welcome. Chris from Missouri here, bringing you another video about vintage baseball cards. In this video, however, I'm just going to give you some information about a card show coming up. And I don't want this to take over all my videos from here until the middle of April, but in the middle of April, there's a card show that I want to promote, and it's the Strongsville, Ohio card show. See, a couple years ago, I got a phone call from new friends, Scott Reindeer Studio and Don Field of Dreams. And Don Field of Dreams invited me to come up to Strongsville, which is pretty much close to where he lives and really close to where Scott lives. And he invited me up and he told me that it was primarily an all-vintage show, and it was held in the Best Western on Royalton Road in Strongsville. Now, it was when the year that I first went up there, it was in their ballroom, and it was a real small show, and they were even hesitant to talk it up because they knew it was a real small show, and they knew I had to travel a long way. But I was not disappointed in the show. It was almost 100% vintage, which suited me just fine. And I understand that all vintage, if you're going to a card show just to go pick up cards, that 100% vintage doesn't work for everybody. That's every one of my friends out there and that make content, and everyone that even watches this. But I liked it at the time, and I had such a good time. That first time that I went, I met Mike Canadian Cards, Eric Fourleaf. Mike actually snuck a Canadian over the border named Stephen PH with a PH, and that's before he became a content creator. And we met up with Andrew Nuff Said Cards and his friend, and Josh J. Stottlemyre, 21, or a big Ruth fan, big guy. He lifts about as much weights as Mike Canadian Cards and myself do. But that's who we had, and we sat at a table, we had some drinks, we shared some cards, we had some laughs, and what a great time. We went out to lunch together a couple different times, and the cards that we got to see was incredible. Well, let's move it to the next year, which was last year. They moved the show to an ice rink, which was right across the parking lot, and you're going to hear some people talk about that, and you already have heard people talk about Strongsville. And we went from having 7 content creators there at the most, maybe, to, I believe we had our get-together last year, and we had over 50 people at our get-together. Now, that was incredible. And so what I'm doing here on this first video, I'm talking about Strongsville, is I'm telling you there's an all-vintage show coming up again in April in Strongsville, Ohio. And it's going to be the 11th, which is a Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday. And I'm going to get up there on the 10th, and I'm bringing 3 fellow Missourians. And we're going to make our trek up there and get there on Thursday evening at the Best Western Hotel on Royalton Road. And I bet the people that went there last year had such a good time that a lot are coming back. And we're even going to have a bigger time. So what I've done is I've reserved a room, kind of triple the space of what we had last year at our meet and greet. And we're going to have another meet and greet on Friday of this year, and it's going to be right after the show. But I don't know about food or anything yet. I'm just wanting to tell you about it. And the reason I'm telling you about it is the hotel and the show are so easy together. And if you can book a room at the Best Western on Royalton Road and feel like coming to join us at the meet and greet, and I know this is a vintage show, and I know it doesn't fit everybody that's watching this, and it doesn't even fit all my YouTube friends. But if you can make it up there for the meet and greet, it can be fun. And but what I would like you to do, if you're hearing this, everybody's invited. No matter whose channel you watch, no matter what YouTuber you are, Whether you like me or whether you don't like me, doesn't matter. I'm going to be one of a lot of people there, hopefully. I'm inviting you, and I want you to come. But what I would like you to do is heed my warning here. Get your room now if you're wanting to be at Best Western. Now, if you call there and if you call the reservation hotline, they're going to tell you they're booked up. But I'm here to tell you the reason I'm doing this today is for a couple more weeks, they have blocked off some rooms for us. All you have to do is call the direct number, and I don't have it here with me, but it's the Best Western on Royalton Road in Strongsville, Ohio. Call their hotel, not the reservation hotline. You'll get some guy from a different country, probably Canada, and they don't even speak English, right? So call them and say, I am part of the YouTube content creator community, and I want to book a room. Get your rooms booked now, and you better do it in the next couple of weeks. But if not, still come. There's hotels around, that kind of stuff. But I want you to come, and my apologies to Andrew Nuff Said Cards. That first year we had 7, and he's gone to this show. He and his buddy have gone to this show forever. Mike Canadian Cards have been to it many times. Don and Scott had gone to it. But we had 7 or so content creators there, and it was a good time. Last year, we screwed up their good private time by having over 50 of us there. I want to have over 100 people there on the meet and greet. I want it to be fun. We're going to come up with some stuff. But just so you know this as well, and I'm not going to speak a lot for it because I want them to brag about it, but the 4 Collectors channel. And you guys, if you're watching this, you know who they are. And if you don't watch their channel, turn over and subscribe to 4 Collectors, 4 Collectors. They are having a trade night the following night in the hotel as well. And they're going to give you all the information about that. And it's going to be fun, and it's going to be a vintage trade night. But listen, if you want to go to a place that you can see vintage cards that you won't see at the shows that you typically go to, then come to Strongsville, Ohio. If you want to come to Strongsville, Ohio and get a hug or a big high five from me, just come to Strongsville, Ohio. But lastly, before you turn this off because you're tired of listening to me, I want you to comment on here, message me somehow, or do a video. Tell people to get a hold of me and let me know that they're coming. Even if you're not a content creator, just message somehow. Message me and say, hey, I'm going to be there with these guys. Right now, I know of 4. I know of 4. That's me and a truckload of 3 other guys from Missouri. So it's going to be 4. I hope I see the regular guys that I've seen before, but I also hope to see you there. So remember, Strongsville, Ohio, April 11th, 12th, and 13th. And remember, guys, it's just a hobby. Collect what you like.